you fumble the rock, it's the most disgusting feeling that you can have because you've literally, it's the hopes and dreams of the team. You're a running back. You got one job to do, and that's hold the pill and get the yardage and get down. And when you cough it up like that, Bill has a zero tolerance for that.
I always try to explain to people about the running back room.
Yeah.
Explain to us the dynamic of the running back room with Ivan Fears.
Man.
As coach.
Coach Fears.
Like he had to basically like be the teacher for all you knuckleheads.
Yeah, he did. Coach Fears was like Pops. You know what I mean? Coach Fears is an old head. I think he had been with Bill forever, right?
Yeah.
And, our running back room was loaded. I mean, let's just go back through it and say what it was. Our leader, I'm going to say, was 3'9", Danny Woodhead. Like, small guy, dynamite. Big things come in small packages. You could throw Danny in any play, line him up at any position, and Danny knew it and was effective. But the running back room, he was heading that room. When I got there as a rookie, it was Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. And then once Benny went on to Cincinnati, that's when I kind of stepped into it in 2012. And we started kind of figuring out what I was capable of. But our room was no doubt led by Danny Woodhead. He was the ultimate leader, ultimate teammate, kind of told us how it was coming in. So Coach Fears would always throw it up there. So let me back up again. Brandon Bolden, Ole Miss guy. BB was a monster, okay? BB did not lift weights. BB just ran all day, never got tired, but little history about BB. BB was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and went to Ole Miss to play running back. I was from Natchez, Mississippi, and left Mississippi and went to LSU to play running back. We were a year apart. He wore 34 at Ole Miss, I wore 34 at LSU, and we banged it out for 4 years in a row. So when we drafted Brandon Bolden, when y'all talk about lit, bro, I was like, there's no way Bill really just did that. And I looked up and BB's coming in the room and it was like, oh, it's up. Me and BB like to smoke a little bud and chill. I'm just gonna say, like that was our deal. We'll get another story going on that one. I don't want to get us in trouble, but our running back room was super tight. Just talk about the room. Danny was our leader. Shayna was drafted ahead of me. So Bill, the previous year, I guess in 2006 is when Bill drafted Gronk and Hernandez in the same draft class. 2010, sorry. We came in 2011, and he drafted Shane and me at running back. So he was going by the twos. And so when we come in, Shano is third down back, fast, got wheels. Shane got an open field. You can just go ahead and meet him at the goal line. He just had it. And he was a safety valve out the backfield. He was the exact opposite of me. So when I look at it, it was like our running back room was so built that we were just, any of us could go. So going back to Coach Fears, I just remember we'd go through the game, and it was badass because after you play in New England, and I consider myself a journeyman because I had to bounce around on a few different teams, very rarely did I go to a room that was as loaded as we were on this year. But Coach Fears really used to just say, hey, look, every other series we're going with a different back. He didn't care who was in there because we were all that good. And so it was really dope because we had a team concept that we were all unselfish. We all knew that we had one job to do, and that was to get it done as a running back room and not fumble the football. And that word still, I get chills in my body because that was Rid's biggest issue throughout my career, bro. I ran hard, but the ball would get out, bro, when I was fighting for the extra yards. But either way, Bill, with no hesitation, you knew what time it was. You put that ball on the ground, go ahead and sit on the bench, bro. That's a day for you. You know, watch the game. But when you look at this room, it was so stacked that it didn't matter who we had in there. We had great leadership. Coach Fears always kept us like almost like a school mentality, bro. Like we were in class. Shut up now. Y'all get in here, sit down, you know, and y'all know what Bill said and what we have to do, and he's going to trickle down with everything. So it's like Coach gives his orders. Ivan's going to come in and coach us up, make sure we know what we need to do. And we can't be embarrassing the old man. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of Bill's guys, and Bill trusts him. And, you know, I look at it and say this, man, he was one of the few black coaches on the coaching staff. So, you know, we try to go hard for the man. And he'd been around for years. So when you look at it like that, we were a true family. You know what I mean? We hung out a lot off the field, but we were just stacked up, dude, because Shane was a monster out of the backfield. And then even when you handed it to him, Shane would get loose quick.
What's it like being in Belichick's like fumble doghouse?
Doghouse.
Not a pod.
Oh, dude, you know, I'm talking about, I'm 36 years old right now. And when I don't really watch that much football, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I was kind of scarred after the pro career because it was like, man, I know I had a decent career, but I had like some fumbles at some times, and like social media was just getting going, and people were firing and saying some of the craziest stuff to you in socials, and it used to just like, man, it used to eat at me, bro. Like I mean, it used to just eat me up. And I finally got fed up one time, and I laid into some little kid that fell off my DMs. I'm like, little turd. I didn't say like that nice, but I'm like, you little turd. I went in on him. Like, man, you don't know the half. Next thing you know, his mom writes back a message. I'm just letting you know. And I was like, Mom, F you too. Like, for one, you need to control your little kid talking to me, a grown man like this, yada, yada, yada. But it's like one of those deals, man, when you fumble the rock, it's the most disgusting feeling that you can have because you've literally, it's the hopes and dreams of the team. You're a running back. You got one job to do, and that's hold the pill and get the yardage and get down. And when you cough it up like that, Bill has a zero tolerance for that. I mean, and I remember I was not only benched, but it's like the whole following week of practice. I don't know if you even remember this. Remember, he took the footballs
And greased them
up with like
silicone.
Vaseline and silicone, put baby powder on top of them, and making his point that I blew it and had a fumble. Then you do a drill where you have two balls in each hand, greased up the same way. Coach Fears is on one side. Bill comes over there and he's on the other side. And that's when he's going to actually coach you hard, you know, and make you realize that it's very important and it's not acceptable. So I got benched one time where he like took me out. I didn't even get to dress. You remember that? Where I had to sit on the sidelines? I'm like scarred from this, bro, just off of a fumble turnover. But coach had me on the sidelines, holding the rock, not even in pads, bro. I had to sit and watch the game. And it was sick. But I think like right after that, the next two games, he came in, he fed me pretty well. And I was freaking killing it because I was just pissed off and embarrassed. But Bill's doghouse is nowhere that any human being wants to be, ever.
Ever.
Ever, dude, ever.